First, I will part my hair into 4 sections. I will undo one of the sections and apply the heat protecting spray throughout my hair. And then I will take my comb to detangle my hair. I then blow dry my hair until it's completely straight, and I complete this process for each of the 4 sections. And thoroughly blow dry the section until it's completely dry. I take my heat protecting oil and massage the oil throughout my hair from the roots until the end. I then resection my hair into 4 sections. I take my hot comb, which is placed on 15 as far as the settings, and then I part a small section of my hair and slowly run the comb through the section until it is straight, and I repeat this process throughout my entire hair. After this, you can prep your hair for the 4 cornrows that will be going from the front to the back. Here, I section off a small part for my tiny braid that I'm going to feed into one of my large cornrows. It's important to make this braid very tiny and not too big. You're going to apply edge control on this small section so that it can look very neat when you're done. You will be using a lot of edge control for this hairstyle. You can use whatever edge control that you have. Okay, first you're going to take your edge control. You're going to apply it along your hairline and along the part of the braid. You're going to then take your brush and comb out the product throughout your hair. You're then going to make a small part to begin the start of your first large cornrow. You're going to braid it for about 2-3 times, and then you're going to start adding your crochet hair. To start, I take 1 strand of the crochet hair and add it to the start of my cornrow. And I do this up to 3 times so that I'm using 3 individual strands to start off, and then I braid a few more times going towards the back of my hair, and I slowly begin to add 3 strands of the crochet hair at a time, just to increase the thickness of the cornrow as I'm working my way back down my braid. And then I'm going to add the end of my tiny braid that I did earlier to my large cornrow. This is just to give it an extra little design to your hairstyle. Taking your time during your large cornrows is important for the neatness and to make sure you're not leaving out any strands of hair. And also it kind of helps with keeping the hair from getting tangled as you're adding the crochet hair. You're going to continue this method all the way down until you get to the very last part of your cornrow towards the back of your hair. And as you're braiding your ends, you're going to braid it down a little bit and then grab a rubber band to secure it in place. You don't want to braid all the way down because you're going to use the curly ends of your braid to form your curly bun at the end of this hairstyle. You're going to start now on your second cornrow, and you pretty much are going to follow the same steps as you did with your first one. You're going to make a small part to start off your cornrow. You're going to braid that as if it's an individual braid up to 3 times before you start to add your single strand of crochet hair to the braid. And once you do this about 3 times, you're going to start braiding your cornrow back until you get closer to the midsection of your hair. And that's when you're going to start adding 3 strands of the crochet hair at the same time. instead of individually. This is going to allow for a consistent thickness of all 4 cornrows. And also make sure that you're using edge control on your hair before you start your braid, just as you did with the first cornrow. This is going to help your hair from looking frizzy when you're done, and also help the hairstyle to last a lot longer. When you get to the ends of your braid, you're going to secure it with a rubber band to keep it in place. When you're done with your braids, you can stretch out your braids, working your way from the bottom to the closest part of your hairline, just to make it look even more thicker. And then also you can start to re-secure the ends with another rubber band. You're then going to take your scissors and trim away some of the excess ends of the hair, and then twist the ends of your hair into a bun and secure it with a headband or rubber band. And then you can fluff out the curls of your bun to make it a little fuller. Now you're going to crochet some loose curls through your cornrows. You can start by taking one strand of the curls and dividing it into 3 strands. I feel like the thinner the curls, the more natural it looks. And then you can begin to take one of those small strands and crochet it underneath the braid of the cornrow. You will leave one end hanging out in front of your face, and you will crochet the other end throughout the braid. It can go far back as you want with the curls, and you can place them wherever in the cornrows that you prefer. I just did 2 curls in the front and 2 curls in the back for reference. I then will take my mousse and apply palm size of it over my braids, and then I will take a silk scarf and wrap it around my hair, and I'll leave it wrapped up just for a little over an hour. You can sleep overnight with it, but at the end, this should be the end result. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial.